Secure 65 health plans where seniors thrive.
Those of us who are 65 and older, we love to be around people that understand we're still relevant, right? And we still have needs, and we want to live out our golden years feeling golden. And so when I talk about things like that, and you sit down with a senior and you ask them, what are you looking for? Is that a hard question for most people as seniors to navigate?
In my experience, I found out that these people, they love to be heard of. I've learned how to listen. What is important to them? Individual, everybody has their different goals, different timeline, different lifestyle, and I'm there to help them to reach their goals. And it's simple as that, which we have to just make it transparent and make it what is best for them. That's how I proceed and go, every client one at a time. That's what I've been learning.
Have you had any challenges dealing with any seniors? Are there any that are cantankerous, or are they all just, find a house for me, I love you? Here's my
That's a very good question. We have, different people, different goals. And of course, I do my best. And I always wanted to make sure that when I understand, of course, for the first consultation that I go through with them, I wanted to know exactly what they're looking for. What's important to them. And, they have a lot of memories. They have a lot of the stuff around. And I always, honor what they have and they achieved and where they wanted to head, heading toward their next chapter. Therefore, I always listen and I ask them questions and I encourage them, ask me questions.
Right.
Please ask me a question. What are your thoughts? What do you like to do? And when I, just make it straightforward and simplicity of the conversation, it helps them to make a better choice and they feel that they're empowered, they're in charge of their life. I believe that's what everybody wants.
Yes.
For as individuals, what am I doing? Does that make sense to me? And when I make these platform clear for them, it would be easier for them to make a choice, right? To see where they wanted to do.
Yeah. I think we get a little lost in the process, sometimes overwhelmed because there are so many moving parts, which is why somebody like you is just wonderful. I mean, having the conversations that are probably not had by most realtors. It's like, here's the keys, go on in, look at the place. It's not so transactional. It's more relationship driven, right?
Absolutely. It's a relationship. And I've built a lifetime relationship with my client. And always referral comes because I listen and I really care for them. And I want them to get the best of every day of their life.
I love it. See, this is why I had to have you on. So can you walk us through some of the ways you help seniors find places? What does that look like?
Right. It's very simple. And it's as long as, I have that conversation, the first consultation to make sure that what are the goals, what is the lifestyle, and what is the timeline, and what do they really want to achieve? Sometimes I sat with them and we've gone through the whole process together and they've been telling me, I wanted to do this. And we did some simple calculation. And I said, okay, if you wanted to do X, Y, Z, is it worth it for you to spend this much of money? And you get this one. They've been thinking, oh my God, no. I said, okay, therefore, let's think again. Let's put our head together. Why don't we just, wait for another 6 months or, what is best for you? Of course, I report and they decide. Simple as that.
Well, that's the goal, right? Sometimes the realtors don't listen and you're trying to tell them what to do. So the first thing that just was wonderful that I heard is that you listen to what seniors want. And I think a lot of people get a little frustrated because sometimes we can be a little slow. We might have to say it a couple of times, but having somebody that listens to you is everything, especially when we're talking about downsizing. Should they downsize? Should they maybe get a bigger place and maybe have it so that they can have extra help come in? How do you have those kind of conversations? I know it's individual, but what does that kind of look like?
That's right. It's a very great question because I did have different clients and they have literally they wanted to do something that they heard of some other people. And when I explained for them, okay, these are pros and these are cons. And of course, I help my client to make an educated decision.
Yeah.
That's my goal, right? And I've just made everything simple, transparent, and just show it to them that what is best for them. And of course, they have to choose what makes sense for them. And usually, if when it's on the paper, and it's like having a plan in place, it makes a whole different story, make it clear, and they feel empowered.
Yeah.
Right? And that's my goal to make sure that they understand what their needs and wants are, and we go based on that. And sometimes, what the neighbor did is not suitable for that for my client.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It doesn't necessarily, they come, in advertising, oh, you have to do XYZ. It's not for everybody. It's individual and it's what's best for you. That's how we tailor it based on the needs and wants and the lifestyle the client wants. It's very important that, and one of the biggest mistake that senior makes that I've been notified, sometimes they make very rational decision without having all the information in hand, or they take too long to respond. Therefore, I always encourage them to have the right realtor with you, go through it, that is really that person is with you and your team, and just go through it to see what is best for you. And when you have those information, then calculated, risk and everything, you see what needs to be done. I think that would help the senior to be comfortable, and they're not gonna, do something and all of a sudden a few months later say, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do that, I'm not happy with my choice, right? We try to prevent not to get. These are the things that I think is important.
So you guys, this is why she's the one. This is why I don't recommend anybody else. You guys know that. You guys know me. When I pick somebody 100%. And I have known her long enough and dealt with her that I know that when it's about making the right decision, she will help you. She will go through it. She will cross her T's and she will dot her I's. And at the end of the transaction, you'll be satisfied. And I think that's one of the things, Sheri, that seniors are afraid of. If I make the wrong decision, having somebody who's going to sit there and talk to me about it. So downsizing or just changing, you had mentioned you need to have a team. They need to know exactly who they could listen to, why they should listen to it. Is it harder to get qualified as a senior, or is it just basically on how much cash you have around?
It's a very detailed area that we need to pay attention to see. It's most of the people that where they are, there's a lot of program out there. And of course, we work with the team, great team, they're professional. We work with them. We saw other people, other clients, they have good experience with them. Therefore, we recommend to others as well. And we recommend these people to go one-on-one. Of course, the client has to make a choice who they want to go with and to see what are the options on a table for them. Then they will make a decision, whenever they feel comfortable. But the key is this, planning ahead.
Oh, you know what? The things that you say, it just sounds so common sense, right? But common sense isn't that common right now, is it, Sheri?
That's right. I make it very simple and clear. It's like you have a piece of land and you want to go and say, oh, I want to build a house. When you have the planning, everything architectural, everything is in your hand, then you can build whatever you want. You can build one story or you can build a high rise. Right. But if there's no plan, you go there, all of a sudden you see, the kitchen is middle of the bedroom and, everything goes.
It's chaotic.
That's how we have to pay attention, right? Planning is the key.
Secure 65 health plans where seniors thrive.